The development of fire as a tool and resource is one of humanity's most transformative milestones, occurring over 1 million years ago. Early evidence suggests that our ancestors, Homo erectus, harnessed fire around 1.5 to 1.8 million years ago, as indicated by charred bones and plant material found at ancient archaeological sites like Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa. However, the consistent and intentional use of fire became more common approximately 400,000 years ago with Homo heidelbergensis and later Homo sapiens. Fire was initially a natural phenomenon, with early humans likely observing it during wildfires ignited by lightning or volcanic activity. Over time, they learned to control fire by using it for warmth, light, and protection, and techniques for producing fire, such as striking flintstones or friction-based methods, emerged much later. The ability to control fire allowed us to be able to cook, which made food more digestible and safer by killing pathogens, overall improving nutrition and energy efficiency. Fire also provided warmth, enabling humans to inhabit colder climates and expand geographically. Additionally, fire helped with socialization, as gatherings around a fire encouraged communication, storytelling, and bonding, playing a crucial role in the development of language and culture. Fire's influence extends to toolmaking, as it allowed humans to harden wooden tools and later smelt metals. This milestone laid the foundation for countless human advancements from agriculture to industrialization, highlighting fire as one of the most important tools in human history. The invention of writing marked the transition from prehistory to recorded history. Writing systems first emerged around 3100 BCE in Mesopotamia, which is now modern-day Iraq, with the Sumerians, who developed cuneiform for administrative and economic purposes. The Egyptians also developed hieroglyphics shortly after, and writing also arose in other regions, such as the Indus Valley script in South Asia and Chinese script around 1200 BCE. Writing began as pictographs, symbols representing objects or concepts, and evolved more into complex systems capable of conveying abstract ideas and sounds. Early writing was used primarily for record keeping, such as tracking trade, taxes, and property ownership. The Sumerians, for example, inscribed clay tablets to maintain detailed inventories and transactions. Writing revolutionized human communication, enabling the preservation of knowledge across generations. It helped the development of complex societies by supporting governance, religion, and commerce. Written records allowed for the establishment of legal systems, the creation of religious texts, and the documentation of cultural achievements such as literature, philosophy, and science. The influence of writing cannot be overstated, as it was critical for the development of education, historical record-keeping, and technological innovation. It has allowed humanity to build on previous knowledge rather than starting anew with each generation. The invention of the wheel is a groundbreaking milestone in human history, revolutionizing transportation, industry, and technology. The earliest evidence of wheel use dates back to approximately 3500 BCE in Mesopotamia, and initially, the wheel was used for pottery as the potter's wheel emerged around this time, allowing for more efficient production of ceramics. Its development into a tool for transportation followed soon after, with early wheels appearing on carts and wagons. The development of the wheel likely stemmed from observations of logs being used to roll heavy objects. Early wheels were solid wooden discs constructed from planks bound together. Over time, designs became more sophisticated, and by around 2000 BCE, spoked wheels appeared, particularly in chariots, enabling lighter and faster transportation. While no specific individuals can be credited with inventing the wheel, its adoption is tied to ancient civilizations such as the Sumerians and later, cultures like the Indus Valley and Egyptians. Each adapted and improved the technology to suit their needs, from agricultural uses to warfare. The wheel revolutionized transportation by enabling the movement of goods and people over long distances, helping with trade and cultural exchange. In agriculture, wheeled carts made farming more efficient by aiding in the transport of crops and materials. The concept of the wheel also laid the foundation for other innovations such as gears, pulleys, and modern machinery. The influence of the wheel extends into nearly every aspect of modern life, from cars and bicycles to industrial machines and even computer components like hard drives. And the wheel continues to drive technological advancement even long after it was created. Now, before we continue, I would like to take a minute to talk about the amazing company that is Manta Sleep, who are the sponsors of this video. If you're ready to improve your sleep, Manta Sleep has you covered. Their premium sleep masks are designed to give you 100% blackout and unparalleled comfort, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Whether you're a light sleeper, nap enthusiast, or someone who needs total darkness to recharge, Manta Sleep has a mask for you. From the classic Manta Sleep mask to the cooling Manta Cool Mask, and even the weighted mask for stress relief, Manta offers solutions tailored to your sleep needs. Made with soft, breathable materials and fully adjustable straps, these masks are light and built for all-night comfort. From December 23rd to December 31st, Manta Sleep is offering one of their biggest sales of the year for the holidays, and if you want even more savings, use my code Jaydone at checkout for an extra 10% off your order. If you're serious about getting better quality sleep, head over to mantasleep.com and see the difference one of their amazing masks can make. Now, back to the video. The Bronze Age was a transformative period in human history marked by the widespread use of bronze for tools, weapons, and other artifacts. It began around 3300 BCE in Mesopotamia and spread across Asia, Europe, and Africa. Bronze is a mixture of copper, which has the ability to break down when being compressed, and tin, which is very hard. The discovery of these things likely occurred through experimentation with smelting, where early metallurgists observed that adding tin to copper ores produced a stronger, more durable metal. The earliest known large-scale bronze production occurred in Mesopotamia, specifically in the Sumerians. The Minoans of Crete and the Shang dynasty in China were also prominent cultures that advanced bronze technology. Bronze tools improved farming efficiency, leading to surplus food production and population growth. It also revolutionized warfare, with bronze weapons like swords, spears, and shields giving rise to organized armies. Additionally, the demand for copper and tin stimulated trade networks, fostering cultural exchange and economic interdependence. This period saw the emergence of urbanization and centralized governments as resources and labor needed to be coordinated. The Bronze Age laid the groundwork for following technological and societal advances, with this time being one of the most important in history. The Iron Age was marked by the widespread use of iron for tools, weapons, and infrastructure. It began around 1200 BCE in the eastern Mediterranean and Anatolia, spreading across Europe, Asia, and Africa. This era succeeded the Bronze Age and introduced stronger, more abundant material that shaped human civilization. The transition to iron occurred as the availability of tin, a key component of bronze, declined in many regions. Iron ores were more common, but smelting iron required higher temperatures and more advanced techniques than those used for bronze. Early ironworking involved forging, but as smelting techniques improved, iron and later steel were developed, creating tools and weapons superior in strength and durability. The Hittites of Anatolia were among the earliest cultures to master iron technology. The Assyrians also played a key role, using iron weapons and tools to expand their empire. In Europe, the Hallstatt culture was a significant early adopter, contributing to the spread of ironworking across the continent. Iron tools improved agriculture, allowing for more efficient plowing and farming, which supported population growth. Iron weapons gave armies a strategic advantage, fueling the rise of powerful empires and enabling territorial expansion. The increased availability of iron helped expand trade networks, connecting distant regions and fostering cultural exchanges. The Iron Age also saw the development of urban centers, complex economies, and technological innovations such as coinage and advanced architecture. The Silk Road was a vast network of trade routes that connected East Asia to the Mediterranean, resulting in the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. It emerged around 130 BCE during the Han Dynasty in China and remained a major element of cultural interaction until the 15th century, when maritime trade routes began to dominate. Its name comes from the lucrative Chinese silk that was among the most sought-after commodities traded along these routes. The Silk Road developed as empires expanded and sought to establish trade connections. The Han Dynasty's opening of trade with Central Asia through envoys like Zhang Qian was pivotal. Goods such as silk, spices, porcelain, and paper from China were exchanged for gold, glassware, wool, and horses from the West. Caravans and maritime routes helped the movement of these goods across deserts, mountains, and seas. The network was not just about commerce, it was a bridge between civilizations. Important individuals, such as the Venetian explorer Marco Polo and Persian scholar al-Biruni, traveled these routes, documenting their experiences and sharing knowledge. Religious ideas also traveled the Silk Road, spreading Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and Zoroastrianism to new regions. The Silk Road profoundly impacted humanity by fostering cultural exchanges that enriched art, science, and philosophy. It was instrumental in introducing technologies such as papermaking and gunpowder to the West, while the East gained access to innovations like glassmaking and new agricultural techniques. Economically, It brought trade to an unprecedented scale, and although it was eventually replaced by sea routes, the Silk Road remains a symbol of early globalization. The Renaissance was a transformative period in European history, spanning roughly the 14th to the 17th centuries. It marked a rebirth of art, science, and culture, inspired by the rediscovery of older civilizations such as ancient Greece and Rome. Originating in Italy, specifically in cities like Florence, Venice, and Rome, the Renaissance spread throughout Europe, profoundly influencing human thought and creativity. The Renaissance emerged from the intellectual and economic changes of the late Middle Ages, and factors such as the decline of feudalism, the rise of trade, and wealthy merchant classes, as well as the rediscovery of classical texts during the Crusades and through contact with the Islamic world, played crucial roles. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg around 1440 also accelerated the spread of knowledge and ideas. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo revolutionized art with techniques like perspective and realism. Writers such as Dante, Petrarch, and Shakespeare enriched literature with humanistic themes. Scientists like Galileo Galilei and Nicholas Copernicus challenged traditional views, laying the groundwork for modern science. Philosophers such as Machiavelli and Erasmus examined politics and ethics, influencing governance and individual thoughts. The Renaissance significantly advanced humanity, and it brought in much innovation, leading to developments in science, exploration, and technology. Artistic achievements created masterpieces that celebrated human potential and beauty. Humanism, a core Renaissance philosophy, emphasized individual potential and secular views, reshaping education and societal norms. The Renaissance's influence is immeasurable, marking the transition from the medieval world to modernity. It laid the foundation for the Enlightenment, scientific revolution, and democratic ideals, shaping the cultural, intellectual, and political trajectories of the Western world. The scientific revolution was a transformative era in human history, taking place roughly between the 16th to 18th centuries. It marked a fundamental shift in understanding the natural world through observation, experimentation, and reason, challenging traditional beliefs rooted in religious and classical authority. This period laid the groundwork for modern science and reshaped humanity's approach to knowledge. This revolution began in Europe, fueled by the Renaissance's rediscovery of ancient texts and the printing press. The weakening of the Church's authority during the Reformation also encouraged independent inquiry. Observations of celestial phenomena, new instruments like the telescope and microscope, and the application of mathematics to natural phenomena propelled scientific progress. Nicholas Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model, placing the sun at the center of the solar system, challenging centuries of geocentric belief. Galileo Galilei provided evidence supporting this model through telescopic observations. Johannes Kepler formulated laws of planetary motion, and Isaac Newton unified these ideas with his laws of motion and universal gravitation. In biology, Andreas Vesalius revolutionized anatomy, while William Harvey discovered the circulation of blood. Francis Bacon and René Descartes developed scientific methodologies emphasizing empirical evidence and rationalism. The scientific revolution advanced humanity greatly due to the innovation that arose in this time, and it improved navigation, agriculture, medicine, and engineering, enhancing quality of life and enabling exploration. It also promoted skepticism and critical thinking, paving the way for the Enlightenment. The Industrial Revolution was a transformative period that began in the late 18th century in Britain and spread globally during the 19th century. It marked a shift from agricultural economies to industrialized and urbanized societies, driven by innovations in technology, manufacturing, and transportation. The revolution was fueled by several factors, including the agricultural revolution, which increased food production and freed labor for industry, the availability of coal and iron, and the growth of global trade. The invention of machines like the spinning jenny, power loom, and steam engine revolutionized textile production, transportation, and energy use. Factories emerged as centers of production, enabling goods to be made more efficiently and at a larger scale. James Watt improved the steam engine, making it a cornerstone of industry and transportation. Richard Arkwright developed the water frame, revolutionizing textile manufacturing. George Stephenson advanced railways with his locomotive designs, and Henry Bessemer's steelmaking process transformed construction and engineering. Innovators like Eli Whitney and Samuel Morse impacted agriculture and communication. The Industrial Revolution significantly advanced humanity, and it led to urbanization, creating modern cities and expanding the middle class. Mass production made goods more affordable and accessible, raising living standards for many. However, this period also brought challenges, including harsh working conditions, environmental degradation, and social inequality. It brought in movements of labor rights and public health reforms. But with all that being said, the Industrial Revolution's legacy is profound, as it laid the foundation for the modern world, shaping economies, societies, and cultures. The control of electricity is one of humanity's most transformative milestones, profoundly altering daily life, industry, and science. While the study of electricity dates back to ancient civilizations, significant progress began in the 18th and 19th centuries, culminating in practical applications that revolutionized society. Early understanding of electricity emerged through experiments with static electricity by figures like William Gilbert in the 1600s and Benjamin Franklin in the 1700s, who demonstrated the connection between lightning and electrical forces. The 19th century saw groundbreaking discoveries that laid the foundation for modern electrical systems. Alessandro Volta developed the electric battery in 1800, providing a continuous current for experiments. Michael Faraday's discovery of electromagnetic induction in the 1830s enabled for the development of electric generators and motors. James Clerk Maxwell formulated the laws of electromagnetism, unifying the field theoretically. Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla were instrumental in making electricity practical for daily use. Edison invented the light bulb and developed direct current systems, while Tesla pioneered alternating current, which proved more efficient for long-distance transmission. Electricity transformed humanity by powering homes, industries, and transportation. It enabled technological innovations like telegraphs, radios, and later computers and the internet. Electrification improved living standards, extended productive hours, and drove economic growth. It also advanced medicine, agriculture, and communication, connecting the world like never before. Aviation is one of the biggest revolutionary milestones in human history, transforming transportation, commerce, and global connectivity. The first successful powered flight occurred on December 17, 1903, when Orville and Wilbur Wright flew their aircraft, the Wright Flyer, near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. This achievement followed years of experimentation and advancement in aerodynamics. The Wright brothers' breakthrough was the result of meticulous study and innovation, as they built on earlier work by pioneers like George Cayley, who in the 19th century identified the principle of lift, thrust, and drag, and also Otto Lienthal, who advanced glider design. The Wright Flyer featured a lightweight engine and a 3-axis control system that allowed pilots to steer and stabilize the aircraft effectively, a key innovation that distinguished their design from earlier attempts. The invention of airplanes rapidly advanced during the early 20th century. World War I spiked the development of military aircraft, and by the 1920s, commercial aviation began to take shape. Figures like Charles Lindbergh, who completed the first solo transatlantic flight in 1927, and Amelia Earhart, a trailblazer in aviation, inspired global fascination with flight. Airplanes profoundly changed humanity as they revolutionized transportation, shrinking the world by making distant places accessible in hours rather than days. Air travel brought in global trade, tourism, and cultural exchange, linking economies and societies. In wartime, airplanes became strategic tools, altering the nature of conflict. The impact of aviation extends beyond transportation, as it has driven technological innovation from jet engines to advanced materials and navigation systems. Despite challenges like environmental concerns, airplanes remain essential to modern life, and they continue to shape the world economically, culturally, and scientifically. The invention of computers reshaped every aspect of modern life, from communication to industry. The journey began in the early 19th century when Charles Babbage, who designed the analytical engine, a mechanical device capable of performing calculations. Although it was never completed in his lifetime, Babbage's concept laid the foundation for programmable machines. In the mid-20th century, modern computing emerged through advancements in electronics. Alan Turing, a British mathematician, developed the theoretical framework for computers with his Turing machine concept in the 1930s. During World War II, he also contributed to the development of early computers like the Bombay, which decrypted German codes. In 1944, the Harvard Mark I and the ENIAC, among the first general-purpose computers, were built, using vacuum tubes to perform complex calculations. The invention of the transitor in 1947 by John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, and William Shockley revolutionized computing, making machines smaller, faster, and more efficient. This was followed by the development of integrated circuits in the 1960s and microprocessors in the 1970s, with key contributions from companies like Intel. These advancements led to the personal computer revolution in the 1980s, with figures like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates making computing accessible to the masses. Computers have profoundly impacted humanity, and they revolutionized industries by automating processes, enabling complex simulations, and advancing fields like medicine, engineering, and finance. The influence of computers is unparalleled, powering innovation in artificial intelligence, robotics, and space exploration. As they continue to evolve, computers remain central to problem-solving, creativity, and connectivity. Space exploration is one of humanity's most profound achievements. It began in the mid-20th century during the Cold War, as the United States and the Soviet Union competed for dominance in space. The milestones started with the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik 1 in 1957, the first artificial satellite to orbit Earth, marking the beginning of the space age. This was followed by Yuri Gagarin's historic flight in 1961, making him the first human to travel into space aboard the Soviet spacecraft Vostok 1. The United States responded with the Apollo program, culminating in the Apollo 11 mission in 1969, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the moon. These achievements were driven by advances in rocketry, pioneered by individuals like Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, Robert Goddard, and Wernher von Braun. Space exploration has significantly impacted humanity, as it has enhanced technological innovation, including advancements in materials, telecommunications, and computing. Satellites have revolutionized navigation, weather forecasting, and global communication. Space exploration has deepened our understanding of the cosmos, revealing insights about the origin of the universe, the nature of planets, and the potential for extraterrestrial life. The exploration of space has inspired global collaboration, exemplified by projects like the International Space Station, where nations work together to conduct scientific research. Modern efforts, led by agencies like NASA, the European Space Agency, and private companies like SpaceX, focus on returning humans to the moon, exploring Mars, and developing technologies for interplanetary travel. Space exploration continues to expand humanity's horizons, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. The invention of the internet is one of the most transformative milestones in human history, revolutionizing communication, commerce, and access to knowledge. Its origins trace back to the 1960s during the Cold War, when the United States developed ARPANET, a project funded by the Advanced Research Projects Agency to create a decentralized communication network. ARPANET first connected computers in 1969, enabling the transmission of data between research institutions. Key technological developments shaped the internet's evolution, as packet switching, a method for breaking data into smaller pieces for efficient transfer, was pioneered by Paul Barron and Donald Davies. The invention of TCP/IP protocols by Vint Cerf and Robert Kahn in the 1970s standardized data communication, making networks interoperable. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee proposed the World Wide Web, introducing a system of hyperlinked documents that made the internet accessible to non-technical users. His creation of the first web browser in HTML in 1990 further popularized the technology. The internet has profoundly impacted humanity as it has transformed communication through email, instant messaging, and social media, connecting people across the globe. The rise of e-commerce has shaped economies, enabling businesses of all sizes to reach global markets. The internet has democratized access to information, education, and services, empowering individuals and bringing in innovation. The influence of the internet extends to nearly every aspect of life, as it has driven advancements in artificial intelligence and cloud computing, but it also raises concerns about privacy, security, and misinformation. But with that all being said, the internet remains a cornerstone of modern society. The invention of artificial intelligence is currently transforming technology, science, and society. AI's conceptual roots trace back to the mid-20th century, when researchers began exploring the idea of machines capable of performing tasks requiring human intelligence, such as reasoning, learning, and problem-solving. The field was formalized in 1956 at the Dartmouth Conference, where John McCarthy, Marvin Minsky, Nathaniel Rochester, and Claude Shannon coined the term artificial intelligence. Early efforts focused on symbolic AI, with programs like the Logic Theorist, created by Alan Newell and Herbert Simon, which could provide mathematical theorems. During the 1960s and 1970s, advances included the development of expert systems and early machine learning algorithms, though limited computer power slowed progress. The late 20th century saw breakthroughs with increased computer power, and this improved algorithms, as well as accessing large datasets. Notable milestones include IBM's Deep Blue, defeating world chess champion Garry Kasparov in 1997, and Google DeepMind's AlphaGo, mastering the complex game of Go in 2016. Key figures in AI's evolution include Alan Turing, who developed foundational concepts, and Geoffrey Hinton, Yann LeCun, and Yoshua Bengio. AI has profoundly impacted humanity by revolutionizing industries such as healthcare, transportation, and finance. It powers innovations like medical diagnostics, autonomous vehicles, and personalized recommendations. AI enhances productivity and decision-making by automating complex tasks and analyzing vast amounts of data. The influence of AI is far-reaching, enabling advancements in robotics, natural language processing, and scientific research. While it raises ethical questions about privacy, bias, and employment, AI's potential to address global challenges such as climate change and disease highlights its transformative power. As AI continues to evolve, it will continue to change humanity, and one day, it will change the entire world as we know it, with humans eventually no longer having to work, which will hopefully allow us to focus on living freely and happily. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you learned something, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below your thoughts on any of the milestones I talked about in this video, and subscribe if you would like to see a part 2 or more videos like this one. Thank you again, and goodbye.